Each of us has our own unique song that we were born into this world to sing. And I think one of the saddest things that our society teaches us is that nobody wants to hear it, because this world already has its own book of hymns that honour the status quo, and if you aren't reading from them, then your song has no value to the community. And I think that alone demonstrates that culture doesn't value creativity, novelty, or the individual. It's a grey box with finite dimensions that we're just expected to fit neatly inside. It's in fact our culture and the mantras we're forced to subscribe to that most betray our sense of community. The wealthiest among us in a financial sense, the most famous celebrities, the most powerful and influential are all presented to us as that which we should strive to become. But all it boils down to is an aspiration to have more than your fair share. If this is the measure of success, then logic dictates that most of humanity must fail. It's a subscription to a system that by necessity places a select few at the top of the pile, while the majority beneath them suffer to support their opulence and entitlement. And the maddest thing is that we worship, celebrate and look up to them as gods, heroes and leaders, even though their very existence ensures our continued suffering. It's Stockholm Syndrome on a grand scale, and somehow we're expected to pretend that this is anyway normal, honourable or admirable. In a true community, everyone's valued equally, not just in spite of our differences, but because our differences mean we each have something uniquely valid to contribute. No man's misery is justified by another man's comfort, and no one life is worth more than another. Me first mentality ensures others will always come last, and if it continues, we all lose in the end because it's simply not sustainable to live this way. A real community doesn't tell you how to be you, but that's exactly what culture's been doing for all of our lives. And the result is a world of chastised potential and chronic non-fulfillment that's becoming ever more uninhabitable. I think most of us feel this to some extent through our lived experience, but we're encouraged to deny intuition in favour of institution. When you start listening to and giving credence to the sense of purpose that comes from within rather than externally, then you take control of your own path of growth in life, which is a responsibility that, rather than being burdensome, actually grants a sense of real liberation and freedom. You know, don't go through life believing that you're in any way a failure because society tells you so, when it's our culture that's failing us all miserably and just filling our heads with shit. You know, that's not a cop-out, that's the reality of our predicament. It takes courage and honesty to own up to that, and I think the sooner we do, the sooner we can start to make things better. Love is the universal truth, and anything less is delusion. So look after each other.